I paid the Yuleys. 2 new additions, not 1, 2. It really is that simple. And there you go. Welcome back to the channel, you lovely lot. This week, something a little bit different, and it involves me having to tell you just a little story, so just bear with me. On Friday morning, I decided to jump in the van and drive to London. Now, you're probably thinking, for someone that doesn't like crowds and doesn't like too many people, why did I go to London? Well, I wanted to go to 4 places that I've been to before when I've been to London with my other half, and I thought to myself, I wonder if I could stealth camp there as close to Big Ben as I could. I paid the Yuleys, I paid the congestion charge, I drove all the way to London, and as soon as I got to Kensington, I just sat in traffic, met roads that were closed. I had idiot taxi drivers, idiot drivers, too many people, beeping horns, and by the time I got round to all the places I wanted to recce, I was severely bored. So I left London, which was a bit of a waste of a day, but not too much. So then I thought I would drive to Wiltshire, and I thought to myself, I'm going to go and stay at the Drove, you know, nice and quiet, do some van cooking, a basic van camp. And I got there, it was closed, both ends. So you've got the A303 side, which everyone uses to come in and out. The gate there was closed with a road closed sign on it. And I then drove down to Amesbury, up to the Stonehenge Inn, swing a left into Lark Hill, went down the back end in the married quarters of the barracks, and that gate was shut as well. So going online, I've had a look on the van life page, and there isn't much talk about what's going on there, but I did find one post and it did say that they were doing resurfacing work. Now, I got out and had a look around, walked through, there is no work going on, the potholes are still there, and I saw a couple of people walking their dogs, and they were very, very cagey when I asked them a question about why it was closed, when's it opening. It made it sound like it was never going to open again. Now, I can't be sure. I'm not saying for any reason at all that it will never open again, so don't quote me on it. But the whole situation down there yesterday was very, very weird. But anyway, I then thought, you know, I'll go and park up somewhere else. So I'm driving down the road and I hear a squeak. So that's coming from my rear wheel, and then I'm looking on the left wheel and I have an intermittent blocked caliper. So the vehicle is booked in for Tuesday. We're now on Saturday, and it's all going to be fixed. They've had a quick look. It's fixable, whatever it is. But they've got a rough idea, which they'll go into with me on Tuesday. So to that end, I drove all the way back in a bit of a mood, and I thought to myself, you know, it is a bit of a waste of a day. But I've scrolled through previous comments on my social media, and a few of you have popped up and asked, we know you've done a van tour, but could you go into a little bit more in-depth of looking around on the inside, the workings of the stuff in the back, where you store everything, what you have, is it practical for one person or maybe 2 in the back of a T5.1? So let's start with where we are now. We're in the back of the vehicle, and a load of you always comment on my hidden television. So let's start there. You place your hand on top, you push down, you let it come back a little tiny bit, twist, and then the telly comes up. So that's it with the TV up in the position. Now, the TV comes with a remote, obviously, but it also comes with another remote. When I first bought the van, I went out and I was asking people what is the best digital aerial to get, where would I run it in the van, and it didn't work very, very well for the first lot of places I went to. So what I did is, if you look under here, I have an Amazon Fire Stick. So that is running off the power of the television. Now, they do say it should be plugged into mains battery for it to work, but I have had no issues, touch wood. That is actually working a treat. So the Amazon Fire Stick is in the back of the television, and I use my unlimited data on my phone to stream all my apps to the TV when I'm chilling out in the evening. So underneath the TV itself, I've got a storage pocket that you can see here. Stored inside is my TV remote. Down in there is going to be my Amazon Fire Stick remote. And in the front, I keep my Borderlands 320 book I got from Chris Sloane's. And through my Instagram, the Somerset Recycling Centre made me my very own chopping board with Captain Nemo on it, as that's my handle on Instagram. So that just nicely slides in like that. My book goes in like that, and it's nice and secure for when I'm driving around. Next to the storage pocket, I have a cupboard that you can see here. I've been documenting everywhere I've been going in the van, so I'm not happy with it at the moment. It's been knocked around. I've lost track of where I've been, so that needs to be redone. So this is a dual storage cupboard. You open it up by pressing the buttons like this, and inside you will see I only have a few items. I've got my solar lights, a pair, which I use for van life festivals, my flag equipment, my Nemo Camper Adventures coffee mugs, and two new additions, not one, two. I now have orange Yeti espresso cups, mugs, or whatever you want to call them, and these were given to me by my good friend again, who provided me with the flag. For those of you that have not seen it, I will show you that shortly. So these are the items that are kept in there, and that closes, and they're nice and secure. When the TV's down in the closed position, you can use it as a storage area if you really want to. I tend not to do anything like that, as I've got other storage places around the van. With the curtains closed, it's nice and minimal here. I've got my fake little plant just to give it a nice bit of greenery. And I still haven't decided where I'm going to put my gifts from Chris Sloane's yet, but they're still in there, as I haven't decided. But my little orange cup here I use just to store day-to-day stuff. And I have 3-tier shelving down there that I keep the van hats in. So that's this area of the van explained to you, and all packed up as if I was about to go out driving in the van. Right, just for ease, I've taken off all the bedding just to show you the single bed mode for the moment. It comes in 3 sections. You've got 1, 2, 3. So if I want to get underneath and get any storage, I do have the doors at the front, but just for ease, I'm going to show you what is underneath by removing these, and it's very, very simple. We place these over here like that. Okay, and as you can see here, these lift up. When they're both up, you can see how much storage that I actually have underneath the van. It's pointless me showing you under here at the moment, as this is where the pull-out kitchen comes out the rear of the vehicle, and you can't access anything in there from the inside of the van. So with the aid of magic, this is what I keep in the storage area. So with all the stuff out here, I'm going to show you what I keep underneath the storage area. Keep it as minimal as I can, but this is what I had from the last trip that I went on. For electric hookup, I have my heater, which I got for Christmas. I have a box, which I use for storage, and I've also got a novelty gift here that was sent to me by someone on Instagram, which was very much appreciated. Inside of the orange container, I keep all of my cleaning products for the van and after cooking. The trusty Kadak, which has saved me numerous times, because with the bad weather I don't use the pull-out kitchen, I cook inside the van with the door open. I have a few rations from Wayfarer for cooking quick meals, pasta and coffee. I have my thermal flask, bin bags and spare gas canisters. Oh, what's that doing in there? That should be on the end. And I have first aid equipment here, toiletries and things like that. But I also keep a first aid kit just inside of the sliding door. And there you go, it really is that simple. So with all the stuff now back inside, if I wanted to get anything out, you press that one, and you can see that there's all the storage underneath there, and plenty of room if I want to add some more stuff, but like I said, I like to keep it minimal. So this now brings us on to the other side of the single bed. I'm just going to move these out of the way just to show you. but this also moves up, and this is where the inside of the pull-out kitchen is kept. To access this, you go underneath into the storage, and there's a clip which you just take off like that, and then you come to the rear of the vehicle and it pulls out just like this. You have your traditional sink and your dual hob on the pull-out kitchen. You have a drawer there for all your cutlery, and you have a push pull-out table just there for preparing any food. You have your windbreak, which goes like this, and in there is where you access the gas canisters to turn on the kitchen itself. To get it back in, it's just the complete reverse. You put everything down, you push it in until it clips into place, back underneath, and clip into place. Okay, time for the fun bit. This is how you get the bed into double mode. Comes out in 3 sections. That's number 1, that's number 2, and this one is number 3. So as you can see, that makes the base of the bed. And there you go. With all the seats now back into position, that is the double bed. Let's zoom back in and go to wide angled for you. There we go. There we go. And then for the evening, you've got plenty of storage underneath for your bags. But yeah, that is double bed mode. So if you're chilling out in the evening, so I've just drawn the curtains here for effect, and you now have sofa mode to relax on. These ones for your back I don't normally bring with me because it takes up too much room, but it gives you an idea of what the sofa should look like if I kept it like this all the time. You can also have an L-shaped sofa. So if you pull this out like that, I have another cushion stored that you put on there. So that will be an L shape. Push it back in. You can also have an L shape this way. Push them both back in, and if you really want to, you can put it on there, so you've got it either side. Or if you've got a table small enough, pull these out and you can share a meal with a table in the middle. The storage pocket I've got here is a great little space saver. I use that for my walkie-talkies and my speaker. And behind there is my table made by Jeffrey Cans. I'll show you what that looks like now. You have to agree that is spanking gorgeous. And with a candle on, when I'm out in the sticks sometimes, it really is nice to have outside. The next thing I keep in the van is the box that I keep the porta potty in. And then I put some storage units on top, just like that. Going in next is the orange luggage, which fits just down the side perfectly. And then I have my orange bag, which if I put onto these clips, pull it down, nice and snug for my luggage. And finishing off with my tripod, that is this area of the storage done. Rug, sofa, and the corner you've seen. I've taken the table out for the moment just to show you how much room I have on the floor, but I'll put that back in now so you can see the full setup with the luggage. There you go. That's all the equipment in that I take with me on my adventures. The bedding area there does look less cramped once it's in single bed mode, but it gives you an idea of how I pack the van when I travel. One thing I forgot to show you is the storage I keep on top of here. So inside here, when this is empty, I do use it for any groceries that I get for when I go away, but I do use my Ridge Monkey, and inside there are the herbs and spices that I use for my cooking. And inside here, I just keep some essentials for when I want a cup of tea, cup of coffee, boil some water, and have dinner. So yeah, that goes back on top like that, clips into place, and that goes back up there like that. But yeah, that is traveling mode. So if I go through here and show you on a wide angle, what it looks like from here. Let's move that out of the way. There you go. That is the van. You know, how embarrassing I've not hoovered. Anyway, so I keep my chocks there for when I want to be nice and level. And then on my swivel seat inside the storage here, I keep my trusty DryBones waterproof jacket that keeps me very warm and very dry, my tyre inflation kit, and in the bag underneath there is my electric hookup cable. And that is my cab. Well, since starting, it's gone really cold outside, so I've had to put on the extra warm hat this evening, which again is from DryBones, matches the colour of the van. So check them out. I'll also put their link in the description below as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It gives you a basic insight into what's involved in me getting the van ready, the setup, the storage, and how I set things up before I go out on my adventures and how I stay comfortable once I'm there. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really does help. And for those of you that are regular viewers, and for those of you that asked to see this, I really, really hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it just gives you a basic insight to what's involved. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.